The Pakistan initiative was probably best described as a pilot. Came out of our conversation with BCTA. Also came out of a conversation with DFID, the UK. I think the US equivalent is USAID. It was quite a small program, about 140 customers. We wanted to focus on competencies, so this is about developing our SMEs' awareness capacity to explain themselves, to understand financial reports, and to really get a sense of how they can present themselves and improve their chances of getting financing. We work with a partner called PwC, great friends of ours, and very rapidly we took that idea and that model in Pakistan to 6 other countries. By the end of this year, we will have really reached out to about 700 SMEs. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that's fairly transformational for those companies. And we've done enough studying of what they do and how they benefit from the training that we think we need to leverage this. So actually one of the reasons I'm here in New York is that next week at the CGI we're going to make an announcement. We're going to take the idea that developed out of our collaboration and working with PwC, and we're going to start training our bankers to train SMEs on a number of skills around financial analysis, understanding products, understanding how to present. So we're going to actually leverage our own staff through our volunteering program, a skills-based volunteering program. I think it kind of depends on where you are. I think if you ask a dozen financial institutions what SME means, you could get radically different answers. I mean, we for example, don't directly do microfinance, which is the very smallest companies. Our competence is actually financial institutions. So we've actually decided, and we made a CGI commitment about 7 years ago, to support microfinanciers. And actually we made a commitment to fund $500 million. As of last quarter, we passed $1 billion, which is fantastic. So we're playing to our strengths. The idea of us trying to reach out, as one company today was saying, to 65 million, I mean, we don't have the distribution channels for that, but what we do have the capacity to support the industry. And on the SME side, I think it is a core business for us. I mean, we have over 700,000 customers, $20 billion of loans and advances to the industry. So we think that's something to develop. SMEs aren't necessarily lower income, they're just small businesses. I mean, this could be very wealthy business people with well-to-do families running a small business, and that's kind of in the nature of how life is in many of these markets. So we don't really see it as a low income, and it's not really like that. I think one of the challenges is to look at the continuum between SME to middle market. Indeed, I was meeting with the IFC recently, and we were looking and having a discussion about is there an evolution from microfinance to SME to middle market, and that they're actually thinking there isn't. Most microfinancing will stimulate some degree of economic growth and support families at a fairly sort of basic level. The SMEs don't always evolve. They quite often will continue to be an SME, and people will live fairly successfully in that environment. So there's a lot of work to be doing. I was disagreeing with some of their thoughts, but it's a really good intellectual debate as to whether SME should always be seen as a stepping stone, or whether it is just a generator of employability and innovation in the markets. Generally, it's the networking, it's getting fresh ideas, explaining to people that may be thinking about doing the same thing. I don't think this is the sort of environment where you want to just quietly do it and not tell anyone. Because if it works, it's best to share that. And so, I mean, I think the benefit of these things is to collaborate and test ideas. A lot of this stuff is about either piloting something and then finding out if other people can help you. Our work with PwC, for example, we couldn't have done what we're doing without their support.